Good morning everybody, this is Lara with your daily update for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. Before I get into it, I just want to let you know we've got a bunch of new free stuff on our website. I've got an Elliott Wave structures guide, a Candlestick pattern guide, and I've got a technical analysis basics ebook. So if you want to get some free downloads, click on the link below, go over to our website and it's yours for free. Bitcoin had a pretty good day yesterday, at least it started out well. It didn't end so well. It's got this bearish long upper wick, but it was an upward session with a higher high, higher low, and it did have push from volume. So far, the current session is being followed by more upward movement. We've so far, early in the morning, made another higher high, but I think price is finding some pretty strong resistance at 27,400, and it's going to have to do a little bit of work to break through that. There also may be resistance at the upper edge of this red trend channel, which I've drawn here. We may have a little bit of work to do to break through resistance, and once that's done, then energy may be released to the upside and we may see price start to move up and away a little bit more strongly. There will be further strong resistance just below 29,000 though on the way up. Price won't move in a straight line. Now remember, my bottom line for Bitcoin is I want to see a new high above 28,145.56 to have confidence that the low of September 11 is going to remain intact for the long term. When you look at the technicals on the weekly chart, you can see that this support line here about 24,800 is really strong. It's been tested multiple times in recent weeks, previously back here in June, and it was previously resistance in February and back here in August 2022. So that is a very strong area of support and resistance because it has multiple tests. So with what looks like a small V bottom having formed about 24,800, it's nice to see price moving up and away. Now let's see how it behaves at resistance at 27,400. Some good push from volume for yesterday's session, stronger than these previous three upward sessions. So that's actually really good to see. Not stronger than this session or this session, and overall volume continues to decline and continues to be very, very light indeed. But that's okay, because when you look at historic previous sustained lows for these cryptocurrencies, they do tend to have light volume around their lows, and they can be very weak up off their lows in terms of volume and range. ADX is now increasing. The positive DX line is above the negative DX line. So ADX tells us on the daily chart there is now a new upward trend for Bitcoin. This is not the strongest signal ADX can give because it isn't rising up from low levels below 15, but it is rising up from reasonably low levels and from below both DX lines. RSI is neutral. Money flow is neutral. There's a long way to go before this new upward trend reaches anything near extreme. Really nice to see a slight increase in ATR. Let's see how that follows through. If we start to see a real increase in ATR, that would be strong bullish confirmation of a new upward trend. I'll be watching ATR quite carefully over the next few weeks. After some decline, it would be reasonable to expect it to start to increase. My weekly Elliott Wave count for Ethereum sees Ethereum in a third wave at cycle degree unfolding as an impulse. It'll be labelled primary 1, 2, 3 and then 4 and 5 to come. Within primary 3, which may only subdivide as an impulse, I'll have intermediate 1 and 2 over here, minor 1 and 2 over here, and now minor 3 within intermediate 3, within primary 3, within cycle 3 in its very, very earliest days. Minor 2 found support perfectly at the lower edge of this base channel. Here's the end of minor wave 2 here. It subdivides nicely as a zigzag. Now what I'm watching for Ethereum, I want to see this channel breached and this high taken out. Ethereum looks like it too has formed a nice V bottom. This looks a little bit clearer than Bitcoin off this really strong support here. I want to see in the first instance the channel that I've drawn here around minute wave C breached. I have drawn the channel from this high to this high, and I've pulled a parallel copy down on some of these lows down here. It's the upper edge that's most important. I want to see a full green daily candlestick above and not touching this trend line for further confidence that a low is going to be held for Ethereum. And then I want to see a new high above 1745.02 for even further confidence that this low of 11th September will remain intact for Ethereum. Here's that channel on my technical chart. I want to see that breached. Before it's breached, it may very well be providing some resistance, slowing the upward movement of price here. Just a little before it gets there, I'll expect a little resistance about 1716. Yesterday's upward session for Ethereum was stronger in terms of volume than the previous three sessions, but not stronger than these sessions here. So good to see some strength in volume returning. This is not a deal breaker for a bullish case. I would have preferred to see this volume stronger than these upward sessions, and if that had happened, I would have really more confidence that the lows sustained. But I do know that these cryptocurrencies can be quite weak off their lows, so some increase in volume is very welcome for a bullish case. It doesn't have to be stronger than these sessions. The last signal Ethereum gave via on-balance volume was bullish. It may be starting to trace out a new range. There's no new signal here. The previous downward trend for Ethereum reached very extreme. ADX is now declining, telling us there's no clear trend. Now there's a really long way to go for Ethereum before ADX sets itself up for a new signal. It has to decline all the way down below 15 and below both DX lines, and then start to rise up from low levels from below both DX lines to give us a good signal for the next trend. So we may have a lot of work to do before it gets there. Along with a very extreme trend, RSI reached deeply oversold and exhibited double bullish divergence, as did money flow. Given those conditions, I take that bullish piercing candlestick pattern at the low and the look of a V bottom. I give that a lot of weight. This is why I expect Ethereum has most likely found a low, and I'm telling you exactly what I need to look for in order to have further confidence in that view. Volatility declined as well for Ethereum at the low. Nice to see a little uptick yesterday, and if we are in a new upward trend, I would expect this to overall start to show an increase. For XRP today, I want to have a look at possible durations and targets for the next waves up. For XRP, its monthly chart, I have a cycle wave 1, cycle wave 2, cycle wave 3 in its early days, with primary 1 and primary 2 complete, now to have 3, 4 and 5. I don't have any estimations for when and where cycle 3 may end. I'm going to focus on intermediate 3 and primary 3. Notice that within cycle wave 1, its primary degree third wave was only 4.37 times the length of its primary degree first wave. That's actually pretty short for a cryptocurrency. So that's why I'm going to use the Fibonacci ratio 4.236 for my target for primary 3. If primary 3 reaches 4.236, the length of primary 1, it may end at $8.10. Given a possible duration, considering primary 1 lasted a year and primary 2 just over a year, let's consider primary 3 could last about 3 years. Now, I'm expecting primary 3 to be a long extension in terms of price as well as time, but for cryptocurrencies, when I look carefully back at the price history of the bigger ones, Bitcoin and Ethereum especially, I notice that their third waves may be extended in price, but they aren't always extended in time as well. This is a ballpark figure, and it's expecting that XRP may follow a more normal behavioral pattern for an extension, whereas cryptocurrencies don't always behave normally. They're like extreme, very extreme commodities. So if primary 3 lasts a total 3 years, we could see it ending in June 2025. That's quite a long way away, isn't it? But patience is key. Within primary 3, I have intermediate 1 and 2, intermediate 1 and 2 here on the daily chart. Intermediate 3 may only subdivide as an impulse. I'll use the same Fibonacci ratio, 4.236, the length of intermediate wave 1 will be at $3.20. So that's my target for intermediate 3. This is just the third wave within the third wave within the third wave. So this is an interim high. It's not going to be the final high that I'm looking for to sell my XRP. I noticed for XRP that intermediate wave 1 lasted a Fibonacci 34 weeks. So if intermediate 3 is going to extend in price and time, then a possible duration may be a Fibonacci 55 weeks, which would see it ending on the 5th of September 2024. So that's how one way I can work out durations, potential times of when these waves may end, looking at the Fibonacci number sequence. Really handy little tip for you there. For XRP, this channel that I've drawn around the bear market has been very nicely breached. So a little bit of confidence that this low here of the 17th of August for XRP may remain intact. Looking at technicals for XRP, we see a nice clear channel breach with yesterday's candlestick, no matter how conservatively I draw that line. Look out for pretty strong resistance just above, though, at 55 cents. XRP showed an increase in volume for yesterday's upward session. It's stronger than these 3 sessions, but not stronger than this session. So that's actually pretty bullish to see that coming off a low. So that adds a little bit more confidence along with the channel breach. XRP gave us a bullish signal from on-balance volume, breaking above resistance. It's come down to test support, moving up and away. ADX is now declining. It just reached extreme, but nowhere near very extreme, not as extreme as it can get for the downward trend, but it did tell us the downward trend reached extreme. It's now declining, telling us there's no clear trend. It's got a bit of work to go before it can set itself up for a new trend. Along with the just extreme downward trend, we had reasonably oversold RSI with single bullish divergence, oversold money flow with double bullish divergence, but no bullish candlestick pattern at the low. Given the look of ADX, RSI, money flow altogether, and a bullish break above resistance out of this trend channel, I have a little bit more confidence now that XRP may have found a major sustained low. That's it for me today with your extra free update for those markets. And don't forget, if you want some free resources, I've got them on my website. Thank you so much for your support. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, because all of your engagement helps me grow my YouTube channel and I really enjoy it. Like, this is what I want to do, analyze these markets every day. I think this is fun, and for my own investing purposes, I think it's really important that I keep an eye on these markets closely now.